on, intro. It's intro time. Shush. Everyone shut up. Let's jump into it. We have Tom Felton response to J.K. Rowling gender debate sparks media fury, but public reaction tells a different story. So for initial reactions, Cody, what's your take on like where we're at with Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling? Like, take it whatever direction you want, but
yay, more Harry Potter stuff.
Yay. Well, I mean, how far out from the show premiere are we? Like, we only have casting done, like, and casting's not even complete yet.
I think the plan is next year to drop a season, but I don't know.
Honestly, if we get flooded with this, I mean, I'm looking at like, what would it be? Rings of Power, right? Like, we had a whole year and a half of media hellfire before the show launched to basically all hatred and then just grifters and shills who just wanted to absolutely slurp on Amazon for Rings of Power. What an abomination that show is, and we've talked about that before on the channel. So,
well, yeah, I mean, with this show though, it's like there are no huge red flags except for one, and that's the Snape casting. Every other casting's fine. No one gives a fuck about, really.
No, I don't think so.
Some people are like, well, the Dursleys are kind of hot, so they're gonna have to really uglify them, but.
Well, the one other story, so we didn't pull this up intentionally, but there was a rumor going around that they were considering swapping out Papa Aceto as Snape after all the backlash. It's an unconfirmed rumor, so we weren't going to bring it up as a story to talk about, but I mean, it's worth
very bold of them to do.
It would be, but
then they're going to get trashed by the other side.
But that's the thing. The other side is like 10 people.
That's true.
It's the modern audience is so identified now. We have. What would this be? Like culture tested, shock tested the quote unquote modern audience, and we have found them lacking. We have found them to be a pretty small subfaction of the entirety of the media landscape.
Right.
Definitely not worth pandering to.
But with the whole like JK and her one view that doesn't align with the left, it's like I like the head canon that some people have to where JK is only doing this show just to replace Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson because they've just shit on her because of this view.
Well, they keep shitting on her. They don't stop. It's like they have no other it's like they have nothing else going on. Now, I'm not actually Daniel Radcliffe has been in plenty. He's I wouldn't say he's been in any blockbusters or any major films that
he's done very weird roles.
Yeah, he's done really out. Yeah, exactly. And so it's not like his career has stopped, but he's really just so recognizable that he's not going to be typecasted in these weird odd roles. But otherwise, how else do you put Daniel Radcliffe in anything without it?
It's like he's trying to get away from the title of Harry Potter.
Yeah, but
it's just not working.
Do you think it's more that, or do you think he sees these like kind of, I don't even know, they're not even really indie projects because all of them have like a studio, like a pretty good studio backing them or creating them. They're just not major films. They're really side pieces, kind of like fill the theater.
I mean, that's what I would probably do if I was an actor. Just go on these more weird kind of movies instead of like, oh, let's do blockbusters that are boring as fuck and you're in front of a green screen the whole time.
Well, especially if you're already one of the most famous actors to have.
It's not like he needs the money.
He doesn't need the money. He doesn't need the fame. He can act for the sake of acting, and if he enjoys the roles, that's probably just I would assume, I'm just making an assumption. Obviously, I'm not a famous actor that everybody loves. But I'm just assuming that you could do whatever role you wanted. You'd probably pick the ones that sound fun or appealing to you, and you'd lean into those.
Yeah. I'd say with Felton, though, like, what else have you seen him in? I can think of two.
I can't even think of two. I think oh, wait, no. Did he showed up in, was it Get Him to the Greek?
Yeah, that's the one he gives.
Oh, my God.
He gives them absinthe or whatever.
Yeah.
That one just popped into my head, too. I was like...
It was off my radar entirely. Get Him to the Greek is like the perfect title of a film because there's no other way. Like you see, you have Russell Brand, thank you, and Jonah Hill in your head, and you're like, oh yeah, it's just Get Him to the Greek. It's like that's the movie.
Yeah, he was in that for like 2 seconds, but he's in was it Rise of the Planet of the Apes? He's the zookeeper that abuses the apes.
I think it. Oh man,
is that Rise? Because there's Rise.
There's War, but then there's one in between the two. There's fall of something.
No. I don't remember.
You're gonna have to look that up. We're gonna have to figure that one out. We can't leave that that question unanswered now. We got to figure that out. But no, Tom Felton has basically been cameos or minor roles. So I mean, if he's done anything, I don't even know what the majority of his time is spent on. I mean, he plays the main villain in the shows, or one of the main villains at least in the earlier movies. So, man, if he's
Again,
getting royalties,
money, so it's like Rupert Grint that plays Ron. He hasn't done anything. He's just minding his own business.
Right. Well, I think he still responded politically to some topics, but I
don't.
Not nearly as much as Emma Daniel.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn, War, and the newest one was Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
For all those that were really stuck on it.
Yeah, Caesar was badass. He was one badass monkey.
It's because he's played by Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis is goated.
Andy Serkis is goated. That guy is just ridiculous. Okay, so Tom has not been super relevant in entertainment lately, but his stardom, I mean, it's completely impossible to walk past this guy on the street and not immediately know who this guy is. Everyone in this
especially if you grew up with the Harry Potter
exactly movies. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like your grandparents might not know, but I mean, everyone in your social circle would.
Right.
So I mean, he definitely.
They should have cast him as Lucius, his dad, in this one.
That would have been so cool as a fan casting. And
I don't know if they've already casted Lucius or not. Does he show up in the first? He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
I know he's in the second one, but
yeah, no, definitely the second one. He does not show up in the first one. The first one's about like Professor Quill.
yeah,
Quirrell.
but I mean, not as like an antagonist, but like maybe in Diagon Alley or something.
I don't think so. I think you're basically just getting introduced. You don't get introduced to Draco Malfoy until you're at the school.
True.
So yeah, so you don't get introduced to Malfoy till later. So I don't see. No, I'm pretty sure it's just two.
Maybe
because of Dobby the house elf. All right, we should probably jump into the article though. So Tom Felton response to J.K. Rowling. Let's jump into it. Tom Felton has suddenly become the latest mainstream media target in ongoing gender identity controversy, not for saying anything controversial himself, but for doing something far more scandalous in 2025, thanking Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling. During an interview at Tony Awards, Felton offered a brief and respectful comment about the woman who created the wizarding world that made him famous. That was enough for the media to pounce. In the eyes of some outlets, expressing gratitude is now grounds for cancellation. He's uncancelable. He can't be canceled if he doesn't apologize. As long as he doesn't lean into their. Well,
and there's nothing to apologize about. He didn't say anything.
Right,
just thanked her.
Well, I mean, oh my.
And you can't be canceled if you're not really doing anything either.
Well, but dude, how many people apologized and still got canceled for doing absolutely nothing?
True.
Like you bend over to the mob and you just take it. Like that's how most people did that 4 or 5 years ago.
It's like, apologize or we'll cancel you. Okay, you apologize. You're still canceled.
The frustrating thing about this is that most people who are paying attention really understood that, hey, you have nothing to apologize for, don't apologize. And if they keep attacking you, and you're not apologizing, or even if you lean into your opinions and you actually like have some conviction, most good faith people will see that and come to your defense.
Yeah, I know this is something that no one will really know, but Tom Hanks' son, was it Chet?
Yeah, no,
yeah, Chet.
I know who you're talking about. I don't know if it's Chet or Chad. I thought it was Chad,
It's
but
Chet.
It's Chet. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. He did like a song or something in Jamaican accent, and then he got an interview later on by his black lady, and she's like, "You want to apologize for any of that?" He's like, "No, they can all fucking go kick rocks. Screw them."
I love
that clip goes viral, and everyone's like, "Yeah, Chet Hanks is awesome." I'm not sure about his dad anymore.
His dad sucks. His dad sucks. Like Tom Hanks is oh my god, Tom Hanks is a phenomenal actor. He is one of the greats, but he is such an asshole and such an idiot.
I think you gotta be weird or an asshole or just like a non-entity to be a good actor.
Yeah, like compare Tom Hanks, or you know what? Let's use a different example. Let's compare Mark Ruffalo, who's kind of one end of the extreme. Maybe Mark Hamill would be Marky Mark. Would be the two extremes.
Well, Marky Mark and Mark Hamill are different.
No, I know. Mark and Mark is what I'm...
Are we doing Mark, and Mark?
Yes. No.
Marky Mark is Mark Wahlberg.
I know. Mark Wahlberg's fine. He's fine. He's actually kind of base. But Mark Hamill and Mark Ruffalo are both kind of deranged and a little bit out of their own heads. Then you compare Keanu Reeves or other actors who are just like in the background or don't lean into the political messaging and just appear to be really good people and just live their lives in kind of a decent way. You have pretty far sides of the spectrum. All you have to do is just not be an absolute piece of shit, and it turns out most people will kind of gravitate towards you for just your talent.
Yeah, you think actors could act like not being pieces of shit.
Well, and I think Mark Hamill, so old Luke Skywalker, is actually not a good actor. I think his voice acting as Joker is iconic and amazing. Outside of that, I don't think I think Luke is in Star Wars and Star Wars is amazing, but I don't know that his portrayal of Luke was actually amazing acting.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking of roles and I'm like, oh shit, that was really good or anything.
He hasn't been in a ton.
Voice acting is good.
Yeah, his voice acting was fantastic.
He was in King of Kings, which is weird.
Yeah, I thought that was absolutely ridiculous. I was like, okay, whatever.
You don't think he would do something for Angel Studios, but
I mean, maybe it's all a grift and he's just doing it all for money. I don't know. Could be. We'll have to see. Let's watch the video and just hear our boy here talking about.
How does the sort of Twitterverse controversy around J.K. Rowling's views impact you at all, or impact your work on the world at all?
No, I can't say it does. I'm not really that attuned to it. The only thing I always remind myself is that I've been lucky enough to travel the world. Here I am in New York, and I have not seen anything bring the world together more than Potter, and she's responsible for that. So I'm incredibly grateful.
I
stayed in character there for a second.
Yeah, Potter. Maybe that's just how he says it. Maybe that's like he's talking to his family about his role in Harry Potter. No, I love this guy. This guy, that's a pretty
It's such a simple answer.
Yeah. Well, it's a gotcha question too.
Right.
I mean, the whole thing is designed to pull him into it and kind of get him on record saying his views one way or another. And you know what? Turnabout's fair play. I mean, that's what they do. It's not like anyone in public. It's not like anyone in this sphere is unaware of how the media behaves. But I think it's pretty obvious who is good at answering those questions and who is bad at answering those questions when it happens.
Well, I mean, Brie Larson had to learn.
Oh,
she got baited into a question, gave the wrong answer. Internet hated her for it, and then like a few years later, she gets baited again. She's just like, I'm not really gonna answer that question.
Right.
Oh, you learned.
She's beginning to believe. She's been red pilled.
Yeah, it's not like the media wants like a good interview or anything. They just want gotcha shit that they can throw on their articles and whatnot for clicks.
Which is frustrating because if it was me on the street and I had Tom Felton in front of me, I would probably want to actually find a substantive question to ask him and maybe even see if there's something. Get some time at asking him good questions. I would want that far more than I would want to try to see if I can pull him into the culture war with a click.
Yeah, just start asking him questions that dude in the Holy Grail.
Oh yeah.
Monty Python, the Holy Grail.
What is your favorite color?
What is your favorite color? What is the velocity of an African swallow?
European swallow or African swallow? What? I don't know. I'm sorry, Monty Python. You were amazing. Truly a generational series of films.
Well, I like how that's the answer that'll get you
Canceled.
viral and canceled by one side and praised by another.
Yeah, I mean, just the most lukewarm answer you probably, and honestly, one of the most factual, because even this guy who's interviewing him, trying to get the gotcha question, he's probably also a Harry Potter fan in some regard. You make an assumption, but I think if you walk down Broadway and you ask most people whether they are or are not a Harry Potter fan, I think the vast, vast majority are going to say, yes, they are a fan.
Well, it depends on their hair color.
True. Well,
if it's blue, probably not.
Even the Harry Potter, even the what is it?
They'd say they're a fan, but they hate JK.
Yes, but those two things are. They pretend as if they are exclusionary things, like when the Harry Potter fan club tries to oust J.K. Rowling or get rid of her so she can't come to events or cons or whatever, or talk about Harry Potter. Yeah, you can't separate the two. Harry Potter belongs to J.K. Rowling. When Harry Potter becomes public domain, that is when, if the culture war is still lingering at that point, which
70 years from now.
Well, 70 years. I think it's 70 years after Rowling passes. So I think it's even further out. I could be mistaken.
I think it's when the project first, or when the IP is first out there. It's 100 years after that or something.
I need to re-up on some of that information. I used to know
Superman's gonna be public domain here soon.
Oh, well, you know what? Thank God.
Right?
If there's enough of it, maybe people will finally get tired of it, because I am so over Superman. Oh man, but yeah, we just got a few of his quotes back, and that was like you said, that was a pretty good answer. But now we have.
But if you don't know what the controversy with JK is, you should probably go over to her tweet real quick.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's pull that up. That's a good. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, so on June 11th, this was a few days ago, we had someone named Brad comment to J.K. Rowling, "Shut the fuck up and go back to writing books. Nobody gives a fuck about your opinion on shit else except magic." And Rowling had a pretty awesome response. I'll let you read this one back. Do it in J.K. Rowling's voice.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. My opinion on magic is the same as my opinion on women with dicks. Neither are real. However, if you want to prove me wrong, by all means, jump off a roof on a broomstick. She should have added twat to the end of that.
That would have been fantastic. No, Rowling hit hard. I don't know if this is, I think, one of the most, like, aggressive responses I've heard from her so far. I mean, she goes pretty.
She's got to be sick of it.
Well, she goes pretty hard on X and on other social medias, responding to people for the most part. I mean, the Pedro Pascal back and forth that we covered a couple weeks ago. All she really did was change her banner for her channel, or for her, I think it was her Instagram, and it was a really deep, subtle jab at Pedro Pascal. But so she seems to love it. I mean, that I wouldn't engage this much if I didn't enjoy it.
It's not hurting her business at all.
No, if
having the opinion she does.
No, I mean,
because you had Hogwarts Legacy come out 2023, and it was the biggest or the most selling game of that year, despite all like the protesting and like the boycotts or whatever.
Right.
And streamers on Twitch were like, "I'm not going to stream it because she doesn't think that men are women and women are men."
Didn't remind me, because you played the game and we did cover this, so I mean it's on the channel somewhere. But didn't IGN like shit can the game and like give it an absolute awful review?
I don't know if they even reviewed it because of the drama.
Maybe they were participants in the boycott. I thought they did a review and they just absolutely shit on it for like unoriginality or a bunch of other like fairly vague fairly vague reasons. But yeah, if that's your tweet attacking some rando online, I am very, very excited to see how this is going to heat up, because Rowling does X pretty freaking well. I think she knows when to bait, she knows when to hit, she knows when to back off. I think I think her handling her own social media is fantastic. I think she does awesome.
But I like how you can have all the same opinions as everyone on the left, but if you differ on one, you're out of the club immediately.
Yeah, it's the purity
on the
test.
Right, it's so up and down on what people agree and disagree with on the right.
Yeah, even Pete Buttgag decided to
Buttgag.
He chimed in on it with he did an interview, and he's like, if you're administering purity tests, you can't pass. I love that comment. It was so fun to hear that. But yeah, J.K. Rowling she's honestly so left outside of that one particular viewpoint.
Yeah.
But if you lean into all of the other viewpoints in media right now, it's not even just it's not even just like the most right-wing people who are anti-left views who aren't going to go see your projects. The projects also have to be good, because the middle is starting to leave you as well in entertainment. I think this year will be a year where we start to see as much superhero fatigue more superhero fatigue than we ever have.
Yeah, I mean, it's already started, but we'll really know next month in July.
Yeah, it'll be Fantastic Four, which, have you heard any good news about either project, Fantastic Four or Superman? I've not heard any good news. Have you?
More on Superman, I guess, where Fantastic Four is kind of going into the whole the identity politics and whatnot, where I don't hear anything political really in Superman. Right. Sue Storm apparently is going to be she's the leader. She's the leader. She's the one that defeats Galactus. Yeah, fine. I mean, I wasn't expecting that's what I'm expecting. So I wasn't expecting Rubber Band Man to actually take down Galactus, but he's the smartest man in the universe. He's the smartest man in the universe, but apparently smart men on TV is incredibly difficult for writers to portray, because they don't have any of those to reference back to. Yeah, what was it? Gary from Nerdrotic said we got the two dumbest actors in Hollywood playing the two smartest people in Marvel. You got Mark Ruffalo and Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, that's so fun. Right. So media pushes a manufactured gender backlash against Tom. Major entertainment sites quickly frame Tom Felton's mild response as public disgrace and painted the picture of a man being torn. Holy smokes, being torn to shreds by good, decent folk of the world who were utterly disgusted with him for these comments. And you guys just listen back to it. They were pretty mild, but some of the articles go, Tom Felton sparks backlash after expressing gratitude to J.K. Rowling. I'm so tired of Harry Potter actors failing to meet the moment, and Felton's backlash is deserved. Tom Felton sparks backlash with atrocious J.K. Rowling comments. Dude, it's just, honestly, it's not even... You could make the argument, and I don't know, it's not the strongest argument, but you could make the case that this isn't even comments directly about J.K. Rowling, but instead just that Harry Potter was an amazing opportunity for him, and Harry Potter was the gift that allowed him to have this lifestyle that he currently enjoys.
Mm-hmm.
He obviously knows who to thank for that, but you could make the case that even if you remove J.K. Rowling from its comments, it wouldn't actually lose any substance.
Yeah. All these articles come from people that are just perpetually online and don't live in a real world.
True. Tom Felton is, yeah, public sentiment tells a different story. So we got a few comments that come back to Tom Felton. So Variety posted the video, and we have Lucy the Great. Thank goodness someone, sorry, I'll zoom that up. Thank goodness someone in the franchise learned not to bite the hand that feeds them. Better, well said. And then a few more. Turns out the villain was the good guy after all. What a gracious, respectful reply. Yeah, yep, absolutely. We got one more here. The only person who appreciates Rowling for the life she's basically given him. Strange how the villain lived long enough to become the hero.
Yeah, the guy that played
Keeps going.
Hagrid too was kind of defending JK before he passed.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Why can't I remember his name now?
Because he was awesome. All right. The outpouring of agreement and support for Tom Felton and his refusal to condemn Rowling's gender stance continues on and on throughout the thread, flying in the face of the mainstream media narrative of a progressive dogpile on the actor. Yeah, and again, he didn't have any obligation to participate in your hate campaign against Rowling in the first place, and so if he just wants to take a neutral stance, but at the beginning of his comment, he was like, "I'm not that engaged with the whole thing."
Right. Maybe he's not even really on Twitter.
I mean, I wasn't until a while, only recently. So, I mean, X is not where everyone lives. It's, Rowling is on there. Rowling's on there, and she's basically dominating the platform. I think there's really a few shit posters who do a really good job on X. It would be Trump used to. I don't think basically all of his truths just seem to get linked onto X rather than being posted.
Truth Social, yeah.
Yep. And then Elon, I think Elon is current king on X. Dude, anything he posts is just ridiculously viral. And
I haven't been paying attention since their divorce, but
well, it looks like that's milded down where Elon came out saying he regretted some of his posts that he had made. So he was high.
He's severely autistic.
Honestly, you know what? I would be pissed off too, though, if you politics.
Yeah.
But yeah, Felton's reply. J.K. Rowling. We don't really have to spend too much time on Rowling's whole debacle because we've covered it a billion times on the channel. Just to summarize it, you have a lot of her actions are really mixed bag, where half of them piss off everyone, and then half of them piss off people who just want decent content and good stories, and then a portion of them piss off the activists who really just hate her for her stance on gender politics.
Yeah, well, whatever. It's really a nothing burger when it comes down to it, and someone being praised for just mild comments is just the world we live in now.
Right. Just to finish out the article, the irony: while the press claimed Potter fans were tearing him apart, the fans were actually lifting him up. Yeah, absolutely. Turns out the real magic is honesty, and Tom Felton might be the last wizard willing to use it. Aw, that's kind of well said.
You praise for common sense.
Common sense, integrity, honesty, authenticity.
Integrity.
But
integrity.
They got integrity wands. Integrity wands are just made out of...
Don't get all integrity wands. Made of hemp.
We're going to wrap that story up. We're going to say Tom Felton, response to J.K. Rowling, gender debate sparks media fury, but public reaction tells a different story. An article from That Park Place and Marvin Montanaro. Great story. Well written. Thank you so much for covering it.
I tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life.